Hi, I actually belong to 3 support groups now, but when I first started the PGR9 process, I didn't belong to any. And although I was asked to join one, the people in the group were actually collecting their data and writing up at that stage. So I felt that they would be too advanced for me and I wouldn't be able to sort of talk about the issues that were relevant to me. So what I decided to do was to start my own support group. So as I went around the university, I just kept an eye out for people who were doing their PhD. And then I'd ask them if they wanted to join a support group or not. And some people said yes, they'd love to join, and others said no, too busy. So when I got enough names, I just sent out an email and then we met in a cafe, and basically we've been doing it ever since. So now I have this amazing support group, 5 amazing women. We meet every fortnight at a cafe and we discuss books, we discuss seminars we've been to, we talk about how to write literature reviews, all kinds of things. And when you are writing your PGR9 or your PhD, you have to write obviously in the language of the discipline. And that's one thing, but another thing is to actually speak it and articulate it. So what we try and do in those meetings is talk about our methodologies as much as we can to get that kind of practice, and it's a very supportive environment in which to do that because it does cause quite a few laughs. The other group I belong to is quite a formal group. Because I'm doing my PhD in the School of Education, I'm invited to the Doctorate of Education workshops, and they meet 4 times a year, and they are really fantastic. So what we do there is we have to talk about our studies to the whole group. We have to show that we're making progress. We talk about theorists. We have to listen to others talk about their studies, and we have to critique them. And that's critique and not criticise. So you learn to ask questions, and you also learn to answer those questions when people are asking you about your own studies. So what's really good about those workshops is that you get practice for the PGR9 process and also for the PhD oral exam, I would imagine, standing up and speaking about your study and also being able to answer questions about it. That's really, really important. And then the third support group I belong to is a reading group, and I'm just new to the reading group, so I've only been once. But what happens there is that the convener, the person who runs the group, will send you out a chapter to read every month, and then you read the chapter, and then we meet up in a bookstore in the evening and we discuss the chapter. So we might read paragraphs aloud, and then we try and make sense of what the theorist or the author has been talking about. So reading groups are really good to explore theorists like Foucault or Bourdieu or Deleuze. So if you're using any of those kinds of theorists in your study, perhaps one of them or all of them, and you want some support around reading them, setting up a reading group is a really good idea. And I think that's the key. Think about what you need in terms of support for your studies, and go out and find it. There are lots of fantastic support groups, all different kinds, like I've explained at AUT. And if you can't find one that's going to meet your needs, then you can just start your own. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who are also on their own who would like to join a group. Another way of getting support is by going along to the Thesis Link blog and the Thesis Link Facebook page. Those are our postgraduate blog and Facebook pages. And the Facebook page is just getting off the ground, so go along and find us, and you can go onto the Facebook page 24/7. And what's great about that is that that's how we all work these days. We study. If you can't sleep at 3 in the morning, you've got an idea. You can get up and start studying, and you can go on the Facebook page and ask a question if you want to. So I'm going to be spending a lot more time on the Facebook page getting support and perhaps supporting others. So it would be nice to see you there as well. And good luck with your studies.